there's different stages. First you're mad at yourself, you're mad at them. Then you start thinking back to what you could have done. And it goes all over again, and it's just a bad place to be. And if you're already in recovery, that could be a setup for disaster. But at least if you're like, hey, you know what? It came to me like this. I was the mediator, took him to the hospital. I made the introduction to the hospital. He told me, or she told me what was going on. Went to the hospital. She didn't have to tell her story over and over. I was the middleman. That's kind of what they kind of set you up for. Like, listen for it, hear it. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's get you some help. You don't have to explain another word to anybody else.
Right.
And then it makes it like a smooth transition.
From what you described to me too, it also seems like the signs are very subtle.
Yeah,
where you can't really kick yourself for not seeing it. You have to go through the training in order for it to open up your eyes to be able to notice it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it sounds.
Yeah. And because sometimes you're just like, oh, they would never, because you think, oh, they would never do that. Like, they might say, yeah, but no, they would never do that.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't know. You don't know that pain. You don't know what someone's going through. And it's not like they want to die. They just don't want to feel like this anymore. They don't want to be trapped like this. And it's just something that you got to look into. In Kirstens Ride, they're friends of 217 Recovery. That's who did the training for us. And there's free trainings all the time. And just check them out, Kirstens Ride. They're out of East Jordan. There's a link, too, on our website, 217recovery.com. But if it's something that you're thinking about, well, then there's a reason you're thinking about it. And like I said, it's better to be prepared in that situation than to look back at it and think, oh, what could I have done? So like I said, those trainings are free, and it's sad to lose someone. But Anna, I gave you my business card. I'm not sure if you're listening or not, but it was great talking to you, and it's not your fault, and everything happens for a reason. I know that's just horrible, and God's with you. Another thing I want to talk about before I let you get up on the mic, Matt, is the green lights that I see ahead, man.
Yeah.
And it's never been so clear to me that I can do whatever I want. I said that tonight in the meeting we went to, but I'm serious. And the more I think about it, the more it all makes sense. And a friend of 217, and he's got his recovery group going too. And that's what we have to do. We have to come together, all of us. It doesn't matter if you're Smart Recovery, AA, NA, if you have a Recovery Community Alliance, whether it's 217 Recovery, doing podcast, we all have to come together. But Dale came to me and he started, talking about radio stuff. And I thought, my radio stuff's done. Like, there's no way I could be in radio around here. In the Petoskey area, Traverse City, I can't do it. It's bad. And it's not a bad thing. I mean, they've been doing it for however long they've been doing it without me. They don't need my help, but being in different places and different markets, the things that I've learned is not what they're doing here. And not to say that it's wrong, but it's just, for me, it would drive me nuts. Because in my opinion, it's bad. Normal listener, would they know? No, maybe not. Some people do. But no, it's just what they grew up with. That's all they know. And that's, like I said, it's not. But personally, I couldn't do it. It would be, you might as well take me right to the liquor store, right after the job interview. Yep, you got the job. Well, let's go. I can tell you how this is gonna end. It's gonna be bad. But he started talking about that, and he's like, you should do a radio show. And I'm like, well, we got a podcast. And then I sent him a link because there were grants out there, grant money, and a lot of it's from SUD, the Substance Use Disorder grant, or the liquor tax goes for some of that. And I was like, hey man, did you see this grant? There's looking for a radio, like it would do radio, any kind of media, and a podcast was included in that. So I was thinking, we get to get that, but we're not a 501c, so we can't get that. 501c3. But he is. And he came and talked to me again at the master training. He's like, hey, I really want to talk to you about this, and yeah. So we met this last week, and we talked about it, and I just didn't know what to do. And he told me to think about it and just think about it. And I have been. And the more I thought about it, I was like, wait a minute. Like, we could do a show here in Petoskey at a local station. That would be great. But why not think bigger than that? You know, like, why not make Petoskey like the biggest recovery city in America? There's people out there going, because no, don't laugh at me. We can be whatever we want, man.
Yeah.
And you know what's gonna determine whether we make it or we fail? What I believe is successful. Doesn't matter what, you know, Kevin, he can be in St. Louis going, I want to, you know, and that's great. But only I can determine what's a failure and what's a success. But I was thinking too, you know, if this, I don't know, you ever heard of Racing Rocks?
No.
Probably not. Well, it's a show that one of my stations used to run. A couple of them did. It's about stupid NASCAR, bro. And it's Ricky Rackman. Hey, it's Ricky Rackman. Rah, we'll be back after these messages. Dude, come on, bro. Ricky Rackman, I'm sorry. On his scale level, he used to be an MTV VJ. I mean, come on, man. Like, if that dude has a show, like, I could easily do a show on recovery. Like, a radio program. And we could send it out. I can get with Westwood One. Get with, well, they just bought Dial Global. But who's the other one? Anyway, there's other networks that I could go through and like do, you know, pitch it to them. Like, hey, here's our show. And then stations could pick it up, you know. And, you know, if the grant money is out there, we could build our own studio here. You know, we wouldn't have to use a station studio. Like, why think small when the possibilities are so endless for what we want to do?
True.
And what's stopping us, Matt? Nothing. Me not trying. You not trying.
Yeah.
Dale thinking, well, that's a little too big for it. No, why? Why is it too big for us? Don't we want to get the message out about recovery? Like, is there anything small about that? Like, why would we... I almost said the P word and then foot around.
I was thinking the same thing, man.
Like, why would we P word foot around that? You know, like, just do it. So, there you go.
Yeah.
It's on record.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. So, in 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, a year, whatever, you'd be like, I remember Corey said he was going to do that. That's pretty kick-ass. He's in recovery. Yeah, he's in recovery. I'm doing well. But, Matt,
Yes, sir.
You're back on the show tonight.
Back on the show.
Little plug and play.
Yeah, feels good.
You want to talk about fantasy football, don't you?
No. Maybe later off the podcast.
Oh.
I actually
There's 3 spots left. Did you get in there yet?
no. I'm gonna need your assistance with that. Actually,
Okay.
I don't have a Yahoo account.
Oh, that's fine. It takes 2 seconds.
But
Okay, so you don't want to talk about fantasy football?
no.
So what do you want to talk about, Matt?
Well, it's funny because actually I want to talk about what you just ended with, which was how we stop ourselves. And I don't know. Well, first off, I take my recovery very seriously. I live in recovery constantly every day, thinking about what I can do better, what I can change, who I can help. Just to, you know, I understand that I live one life, and like I want it to be meaningful. I want to have a purpose. I just don't want to just go through it how I've went through it, you know, for so long. But since coming to recovery and finally surrendering, like, I've had enough. Like, you know, I've been through the ringer. Like, this is it, man. Like, I'm gonna die, or I'm just gonna I'm gonna be brain damaged. I'm gonna be in a home. You know, there's no telling what's gonna happen. I mean, I've consumed enough alcohol to fill our home multiple times, I'm sure. But upon that surrender, God, He brought forth the change in my life, and He's showing me He has every advancement for me to do good, and I know what I should do. All I have to do is take it. All I have to do is stop myself from doubting myself, and let my fears and my insecurities hold me back for what He's got for me, because what He's got is so great. Like, just the fact that I'm sitting here right now with you, you know, on a podcast trying to help somebody else is like so far beyond my behavior. And I don't know, I'm a godly guy, I believe in Jesus. That's my savior. And it says in the Bible, like when we get to heaven or whatever, we will be changed with, like in the twinkling of an eye, we will be changed. And I believe I use that reference as in recovery, that I think that change he brings forth in us on earth so fast, in the twinkling of an eye, we're changed that we don't even see it. And others in recovery, we notice the change in them before they do. And we get down on ourselves and, oh, this isn't happening, I want to be here, I need to be here, like I'm doing this wrong, and it's looking more at the negative than the positive. But I know today, like personally, like I'm growing. That was a testament today, working at the restaurant. I'm a dishwasher. And when I first started there, I had so much anxiety from just all the dishes just coming through constantly, to the left, to the right, behind me, thinking about, I'm going to get behind all this and all that. And today was probably the busiest day that we've had since I've been there. And I was pretty much calm through the whole thing. I felt comfortable, and I actually did think thoughts like, you're gonna get through this, like, it's not a big deal, like, what you're doing, don't doubt yourself, you know what I mean, like all these positive thoughts just came in, and I believe that's how God speaks to our spirit. And I don't know, I'm so grateful for my life today. I'm grateful for you, for Ryan, it just seems surreal where I'm at right now. And I mean, recovery is hard and staying sober is hard, but where I'm at right now seems like I put no effort into it. Like, boom, I'm just here. Boom, I'm here in the sober living house. I have a job. You know what I mean? I got money. Like I put no effort into it, and that's just another testament to what God's doing too. So with that, I just need to loosen my reins and just let things happen, because they're now that I'm in recovery, things are happening in my favor. Good things are going to happen for me. I just got to believe it and not doubt myself. So
you have come a long way, man. And can you believe 217 recovery is only 4 months old?
No.
Can you believe, dude, that we've done the things that we've done? Going to Lansing and being the media sponsor, going to Traverse City, being the media sponsor for that event next week. I mean, we're doing big things, man, and the things that we are doing. And if you would have been there with Matt when we were in treatment together, if you would have been in room 217 and heard the talks that we would have, you would see how far Matt has come. And maybe if you listen to some of the earlier podcasts with Matt on, like, he used to have shake voice. He would get so nervous, and about doing a podcast, he would get so nervous. He would kind of, just listen to some of it. You might be able to pick it up. But he had shake voice. He was so nervous, and he didn't think he could do it. And now, if you would see him just, picking up the microphone and just like, bam, just when he talked just a minute ago, way different Matt. And that's proof that you can be whatever you want to be. And it drives me nuts sometimes when Matt will say, I'm just a mess. I'm all over the place. I'm this and that, and it's like, why beat yourself up? You keep telling yourself you're a mess. You're going to be a mess. Wake up tomorrow and say, I got this. This is going to be me. This is going to be my day. And not meaning you got this, like you're going to beat this disease. If you're some that think it's a disease, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with whatever you believe in, man. As long as you're doing the right things, that's what I believe in. Doing the right thing and getting help that you need. But anyway, if I lost my train of thought. Matt just went to go get a pizza. See how that food gets you? So now I'm trying to fight the sugar and the pizza addiction is always going to be there. But anyway, just do what you need to do. You can be what you want to be. Just don't give up. And don't beat yourself up every day. Wake up and just say, I'm a child of God. Like, God's got me, and this is the way I'm going to do it. And you can't do it alone. I used to think I could do it alone. One of the guys that was here, and now he's not. I guess he's back in jail, but it's so reminds me of a place that I used to be. My mom was supposed to meet me at an AA meeting one time in Riverside.